Hundreds gather on Public Square to denounce John Demyanjuk's return to Northeast Ohio. We will have the latest on that, plus legal action being taken to protest in front of the Demyanjuk house.
Former President George Bush spent the day in Cleveland. You'll hear his thoughts on the Clinton White House nearly a year after the election.
And he makes teenage girls' hearts go pitter-patter. We will talk with Andrew Shue from the hit series Melrose Place. Live on 5 is next.
From News Channel 5, Cleveland's live 24-hour news source continues.
Good evening, everyone. Protesters are out from both sides of the John Demyanjuk question today, this time putting on rallies on Cleveland's public square.
Some 300 to 400 Jews rallied at the square to oppose Demyanjuk's efforts to regain his American citizenship. News Channel 5's Alan DePietro was on hand for the rally and counter-demonstration. And Alan, was it all peaceful?
Well, the best way to describe it is sort of peaceful is the best way to describe the situation at noontime. It is really further evidence of intolerance by both sides on this rather emotional and explosive issue, intolerance that at times almost got out of hand. These are some of the faces we saw in the crowd this noontime, shouting, screaming at each other.
You're concentration camp. I was there. Jewish. You're Jewish? Yes, I am. Hang yourself.
At the speaker's stand, more reasoned voices from the Jewish community concerning the 6 million Jews and others murdered by Hitler and the future of John Demyanjuk.
If mercy and compassion are to be invoked, let it come after the demands of justice are met, not before. That is what we ask as people who are committed to remembering.
The rabbi from New York City who has vowed to continue demonstrations in Demyanjuk's hometown, Seven Hills, Rabbi Weiss, says Demyanjuk must answer for other crimes.
And without question, he participated in the extermination of thousands of Jews at Sobibor. That is why we are here. That is why the survivors are here, to proclaim we are the victims. John Demyanjuk is the victimizer.
The rabbi speaking in measured tones, but there were others who got excited and a bit out of hand when pro-Demyanjuk demonstrators paraded, including one woman haranguing the news media. All right, we're not here arguing about that. Let us do the interview. Now today, the Seven Hills prosecutor out here in Seven Hills has gone to Cuyahoga Common Police Court in Cleveland, asking that all demonstrations be banned on this street where John Demyanjuk lives, right in that home in back of us here. And the prosecutor fears for the public safety, but the judge in Common Police Court has taken this case under advisement and has asked both sides to try and work out a compromise, if that's possible.
Alan, from what you can tell so far, are these demonstrations going to continue?
Wilma, no, they're not. If they are stopped from demonstrating here in Seven Hills, they will continue elsewhere. And my fear is that one time this is going to get out of hand totally.
All right, Alan DePietro reporting for us.
Well, after seeing a story on News Channel 5 Friday involving the alleged sexual abuse of a Cleveland school child by other students, school system officials are now investigating. Last Wednesday at Margaret Ireland Elementary School, 9-year-old Donna Degley says she was lured into the school basement by other kids and then fondled by 2 boys. Also this month, boys wrote obscenities on Donna's skin during class. After hearing Donna's father's concerns on News Channel 5, today the assistant school superintendent, along with the chief of staff, showed up at the school to begin an investigation into the matter.
We wanted to know firsthand again how the youngsters were doing and what were the next steps that needed to be taken with this incident. And of course, we don't want to blow it completely out of proportion because these are youngsters. 9 and 10 years old, and at the same time, we want the seriousness of the situation to be clear for all concerned, and our concern, and that this kind of misbehavior is inappropriate, and to have these young people know that.
Tonight at 6 o'clock, we'll have a reaction from Donna's father to the officials' involvement, and we'll tell you what steps the school will take to improve the situation.
The FBI is investigating another bank robbery today. It happened downtown, and authorities say it may also be part of a troubling new trend. As Tony Gaskins tells us, police fear these robbers will stop at nothing to get the cash.
The FBI is called to the East 9th Street branch of Trans-Ohio Savings Bank. It's just been robbed, the 44th bank robbery in Cleveland this year.
Black male came in, wrote his note,
waited in line. When it was his turn, he went up to the teller who was next, and he gave her the note and robbed her.
The robber claimed to have a weapon, and so did the robbers who hit this Third Federal Bank branch on Lorraine last Thursday, and this National City Bank branch on Puritas the day before. The FBI believes two gangs, both well-armed and dangerous, are behind most of the recent hits.
We've had about 44 bank robberies so far this year. About a third, 33% of those, a weapon is involved. And
Bob Hawk is special agent with the FBI.
when I say gang, I'm not meaning kids or colors, Bloods, Crips, that kind of thing. What I'm referring to is organization-wise. Several individuals dressed alike. The MO is about the same. They all have weapons. They put the people down on the ground, go over the counter and take the money.
The number of bank robberies is actually down this year, but that's little consolation to police because more and more of them are turning violent. However, no one has been hurt in any of the robberies so far, and banks like National City want to keep it that way. They agree with the FBI advice, give the robbers what they want.
The robberies we've had, our employees have done what they're told, and fortunately to date, we have no customers or employees hurt during any of the robberies.
Many banks are doing more to discourage this more desperate breed of robber who police say more and more often wants money for drugs. Security guards are a common sight now, along with security cameras. In Cleveland, Tony Gaskins, News Channel 5.
Most bank robbers may get away with the money, but not for long. The FBI says it solved 80% of the robberies in the past 9 months.
The city of Cleveland is cleaning up another major fire scene today. The demolition of this warehouse on the near west side is all that remains. The building caught fire over the weekend and all but destroyed the building and its contents. The owner of the building says he has $500,000 invested in the property but cannot afford to rebuild. The blaze has been ruled an arson, but so far, no suspects.
An art show which has stirred much controversy in Cleveland is taking on a brand new look. News Channel 5's Deborah Lee joins us live now from the Cleveland State University Art Gallery, where the 10th annual People's Art Show is just now opening. And Deb, what's different about this show?
Well, Wilma, if you can believe this, there's no art here, at least not art as you and I know it. And I'm trying to talk a little low. I hope you can hear me. There's an important workshop underway right in the next room over here. But if you see this blank wall right behind me here, now some artists will tell you that this is, in fact, art. And they say it sends a powerful message about freedom of expression.
Last year, this CSU art student was nailing up entries in the People's Art Show. But today, there is no art to hang. Only these nails, 900 of them.
I'm using these nails to represent all the work that people are missing out on this year.
Stung by public outcries over some of its more controversial shows, like last year's, which displayed a drawing of a topless missing teen who was later found murdered, Cleveland State University decided to change the format. And this is the result, an art show with no art. Or is there?
No art is, in fact, a piece of work that communicates some things, and I think very powerfully about our society and our relation to art and to free expression.
Artists hope the show and the newspaper clippings here about previous shows will provoke a serious discussion of art issues and freedom of expression. Scott here has entered his work in this show for the past 6 years, including a controversial flag welcome mat protesting the Gulf War. He, for one, hopes the show returns to its original uncensored format.
I'm enjoying this nail piece. I mean, I think it's gonna be a little bit more subtle than the other stuff that I've done, but it's gonna be a good work.
Now, Wilma, this show runs through October the 8th, and I don't think this blank wall here is going to be blank for a long time because artists who come to the show are being asked to put their own forms of expressions on the wall, like you saw with Scott and the nails.
I'll tell you, Deb, I feel better about some of the walls in my house now. Any idea what the future of the People's Art Show is going to be now?
Not really. I talked to some people and they said maybe since it's the 10th year, maybe it's run its course. Other people are saying they'd like to see it go back to its original format. And I don't know if you can see this ballot box here, but people who are coming to the show are being asked to cast their vote on what they'd like to see the outcome be.
All right, Deborah Lee reporting for us. Thank you. All summer long, we've been looking for rain. This weekend, we sure got it. I hope
sure.
it's still needed down there in the water table area.
Yeah, it's still needed. It's still needed. We can use a lot more as long as it's good soaking rain.
And it's been good soaking rain.
Yeah.
I was just thinking you could take a board and paint it green and frame it and call it like Field of Dreams, like that. And,
yes, dreams of what it could be.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's in the eye of the beholder, I guess.
It is.
Okay, and so is the weather. Some people think this is great because we do need some rain, so let's get to it. I think we all agree, though, we would prefer a warmer rain than what we're getting right now because it's only 57 degrees outside. Our humidity is 67%, the barometer 29.73, and our winds are out of the west at 15 miles an hour. Is the rain over? Well, it is not over, and we are still in for a few showers before this whole thing moves out of the area. You can see that off in western Ohio, more showers have developed. Not too heavy, but they are moving in a easterly direction, and we'll be getting a little bit more before the night is over. Everything should end about midnight tonight and get back to partly cloudy skies, but even that is not going to last because we do have some more activity on the way things are shaping up. Here's the rain now off to the west, headed our way. Only 57 degrees here in Cleveland. That's too cold for this time of year. Akron and Canton, 53. The lake now down to 57 degrees. Some people coming up with just 40-degree readings, so fall is really in the air. If you're thinking of doing some boating tonight, forget it. Gale warning out there on Lake Erie. Winds out of the west up to 35 knots. Waves 6 to 8 feet. And the Lake Erie water temperature is 67 degrees. Tomorrow, a little better, but not a whole lot. Showers will be ending tonight. We'll have cloudy skies overnight. Winds out of the west at 10 to 20 and a low temperature of 45 degrees. And then for tomorrow, partly cloudy, afternoon showers, winds out of the west at 10 to 20, and a high of 58. So that's it. And hopefully, the next 5 days, we'll get back to warmer conditions, but I don't believe it's going to happen. It's going to be a cold week. We'll check our 5-day in a few minutes.
It's autumn, after all.
It is time.
And we have Indian summer on the way.
Exactly.
Someplace down the road.
We keep our fingers crossed anyway. Well, is there a more successful businessman anywhere in the world than Ted Turner? I don't know, but coming up at 5:20, Turner talks about buying 2 movie studios and producing an epic motion picture on the Civil War. It is called Gettysburg.
Then at 5:30, former President George Bush comes to Cleveland and speaks about his day since leaving the White House and about Bill Clinton.
And arrests have been made in the murder of a local Red Lobster manager. Family members of the victim watch today's court proceedings.
And President Clinton speaks to the United Nations and tells them not to get involved in every world conflict. A live report for you when Live on 5 returns.
This portion of Live on 5 is sponsored by your Northern Ohio Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Beautiful. Chrysler.
Your kid has a prototype. The Chrysler Concorde made the automotive press rave with features like dual airbags and new cab-forward design that gives it remarkable handling. Now the Concorde is available to everyone. And how well does the production car stack up against the prototype?
I'm impressed.
One critic said it all. See if you agree. Test drive the new Concorde today.
Hi, it's the grand opening of the ultimate pet superstore, Petzaz. This is the place where you can bring your pet shopping. You can have your pet's picture taken, too. Even cleanup crews. A little help over here, please. Petzaz has the largest aquatic systems in the country. We're the Midwest's largest pet superstore. Hit it, Elvis! Just another day at Petzaz. Petzaz, the ultimate pet superstore.